So, I've just seen you here both at this wonderful festival at Shine Seminars. First time I've come along, and I heard your voice. I thought I know that voice. And so, tell us your story for those who don't know you, or perhaps those who do know you. How did it all begin? How did this episode in your life start? And what happened?
Accidentally. Well, we just went along to a council meeting. You were meant to come, but you couldn't come that night. And Colchester Council was saying that they wanted to get people out of their cars. Initially, get rid of your second car, and then eventually no cars at all. So 30 people went to the town hall. And I was a bit late, and by the time I'd arrived, it was absolute bedlam because everybody was objecting to what was going on. And the council were trying to calm them all down because although people had downloaded the document pack, the agenda, nobody had bothered to research what it is that you do at a council. So nobody knew you have a set time when the public can speak. And it's usually 3 minutes. So anyway, I walk in and it's absolute bedlam. And they say, right, 2 of you can have your say. And our good friend Cheryl said, Rachel, will you do it? And the rest is history. So,
but it's really good. Loads of people were there though, because that's really positive to hear. Because a lot of times I think that people just, oh, it's council stuff, oh, it's government stuff, live your life, or never mind, and don't take action. But was it the car thing that is Colchester particularly engaged? Popular there?
We've got a really strong community from Stand in the Park. And and they put the word out, and then it was everyone go along and see what's going on.
Okay.
Because also Colchester's always been, it's a small market town, isn't it? Well, not small, but it was a small market town. Now it's just this sprawling mess, and they recently became a city. And with like nobody that lives in Colchester thinks it's a city other than the councillors. So our minds were thinking, does this mean they want to get rid of the car? Does this mean we're being earmarked for a 15-minute city? So that was more of a concern than the car issue.
Well, that's the bigger picture that I think that people sort of wanted to go and just make sure things were not being railroaded through.
So it was enlightened people that heard what was going on, and then the 15-minute cities. So you all jumped on it. So what happened? So you stood up. You were one of the two.
Well, your trouble is,
wasn't 3 minutes, though, was it? It was a lot more than 3 minutes, wasn't it?
The thing is, I didn't know what was going on because I hadn't read the agenda pack, and I was half an hour late. So Jimmy, who started to speak, I thought, to begin with, I thought, okay, by the end of this meeting, I'll have worked out what's going on and I'll be fine. Well, and then suddenly the chairman said, right, you've got 3 minutes starting now. And it's like, oh dear. So Jimmy did the first bit and I thought, I'll try and work out what's going on from what he's saying. And they were giving such word salad responses that I was still clueless. By the time he'd finished, I could feel him wrapping up. And thankfully at this point, because I'd already said to Cheryl, I don't know what's going on. So at that point, just as he's finishing, she hands me a Post-it note with 3 questions on, and I just had to wing it and try and get through it as best as possible. And then the next day I went back to watch the recording of the meeting and saw the half an hour I missed.
Fantastic.
And it was all on EVs, and it's like, oh, if only I'd known. I know quite a bit about those because we'd all seen on the alternative social media, we'd seen all of the fires, and it's like, okay, we need to go back and do this properly. So that bit was of my own making, but initially it was will you do it? So that's how it got started.
And then what happened after that? So you did you do 3 minutes? I can't remember. That's when I saw you.
You probably, the first council speech went viral-ish on YouTube. It had about 230,000 views, which shocked me because my videos...
That was the first arranged speech. So the very first meeting wasn't the first video that came out from Council Watch. That would be the second one.
Yeah, although someone filmed a clip of people sitting there quietly, 30 people holding signs up saying, leave the car alone and all that kind of stuff. So that clip went viral and caused all sorts of issues with the council. And then we did the first video. My videos on my garden design channel used to get about 2,000 views, and I wasn't going to put the council video up to begin with. But then I don't know why I did in the end. But anyway, for whatever reason, I decided, okay, I'll just pop this one up. It's only one video. and then 230,000 views later, and it was like, oh, wasn't expecting this.
Well, it just goes to show people are listening, they're on it.
Yes.
But what made you be on it yourself? I mean, was it all the COVID thing, or were you enlightened to what councils got up to before that?
Yes.
Right.
As I've written about, I should pimp my book now.
Yes, please do.
I've written about the whole journey of everything that happened from March 2020 to March 2025. And I was a digital nomad working from the warmer parts of Europe. And I got stuck in Spain during the first lockdown. And they were not messing around in Spain. We weren't allowed.
My auntie was there. My cousin was pregnant, fully pregnant, had to wear masks everywhere, and they were brutal.
Yeah, you weren't even allowed out to exercise for 10 weeks. And there were armed police on the streets, there was the army, they were searching bags. And I'd sent my passport back to the UK to be renewed in February, and another friend was going to be bringing it back in March. And you can probably imagine how that turned out. So I was technically there with no identification. So I was avoiding the police as much as possible.
Yeah.
And because everybody had gone back to England from the urbanisation and I couldn't because I didn't have a passport, after about 3 weeks, it's like, this isn't right. And I started researching. So by the time I got back to England, yes, I had had quite an uncomfortable awakening.
Right.
And I just spent a good 6 weeks researching night and day. And I was trying to disprove everything that I was reading. So I call this a pink pill book because I'm walking people through my wake-up journey. It's the ideal book to give to people who are beginning to question things because it will speed up. And so I go through everything as to what I discovered, but not in the worst of the details. I've created a resource page with videos that will help people further. You know, there's certain terms I don't use that
triggering.
You're triggering. No, it's as gently delivered the worst possible news as possible, and then I talk into what I've done about it. And now, having finished doing Council Watch, although Carinna's still going with it, what we could do for the future. So it's a whole journey. So it's primarily to help wake people up, but also there's a lot of people who are awake that are stuck in anger and fear, or they're just hopelessness. They don't know what to do. So I've put what got me out of those stages, because I call it sort of the 5 levels of truth, where you go through shock, anger, fear, and all of that kind of stuff. And you have to move through that, or if you get stuck in it, you can't be helpful and moving on. So that's in here as well.
Fantastic.
As what we can do for the future, because we've tried, and as I say, Carinna's still trying. You can't get through to the brainwashed people. So what we need to do is get the younger generation and help people that are homeschooling, because many of us have skills that may not have qualifications, but our life skills en masse. If we volunteer some time and help the homeschoolers, the parents that are struggling, and just make it a bit easier for them, and get groups together that, you know, we were talking to the ironmonger just across the road in this Shine seminar, and they're doing that. They're teaching young people their skills. So, you know, that's what we want to put together to get that out there, so that, you know, we've dropped the ball, but our age group, when our lot die out, who's going to have those skills that the children can teach them? So we've got to do it now. And also, even if we got an amazing politician in right now, they wouldn't be able to turn things around. What we can do is save the children, and we can do that right now by helping people, educate them, and give them an alternative education, as well as the usual arithmetic and, you know, reading and writing and that kind of stuff. But teach them critical thinking. I did a lot of EFT to get myself through those council speeches, because I'd never done public speaking in my life. I'd avoided it.
You're a natural. She's just a natural.
I'm sitting next to her on this.
Yeah, that's me tapping away.
Because it's so triggering, isn't it? And they're so sort of in the zone of what they've got to do in their job, it seems.
Isn't it?
It seems to be.
Government instruction do.
It seems to be that. And then a bit of money is nicely encouraging here and there and everywhere, just to keep the ball rolling, isn't it? So then we come along with a bit of truth and a bit of facts, and what's going to affect each other, you, them as well.
So the first night that we had organised speakers gone in, the idea was we'd attack with a few different speakers so we get more time. There was an additional speaker who hadn't fit in with the plan a little bit and went, way far crazy conspiracy theorists. Now, that was the second meeting, and I've made it this time, and I was in the audience. And what triggered me to go, right, I'm going in next time, is the climate change manager, cognitive dissonance, when he said about, if man-made climate change isn't real. I was like, oh dear.
Would you be doing everything that you're doing? And the guy just smirked and burst out laughing.
You could see that just didn't hit, and I thought, okay, so we're going to have to find language to try and communicate, because their minds are closed. So that was the idea, try and use the words to force them to think in different ways. And certainly they really reject the framing that I put in. And I think on the last video, or the one before the last, when he'd said, like, if people were to listen to what you're saying, they'd say it's untrue. So I go back again and manage to say, well, yeah, that's because of the deception rather than factual inaccuracy. So each time they come back, that's kind of what's triggering me to go back. Because I keep waking up in the morning thinking, oh, I better say this next time.
I think it's amazing what you're doing, because, as you say, if you use the opposite kind of words, it just triggers everybody. Nobody gets anywhere, and all shut down, and nothing happens. So you have to go in with the right language.
Yes, we tried gently. Well, we'd had a talk from a couple of weeks prior to it, because it's very tempting, because you're cross with everything that's going on, to go in and tell them off, like, stop doing this net zero nonsense. But we'd had a talk from a gentleman called David Charalambous from reachingpeople.net.
I know him very well.
Yes, oh, he's wonderful, David. And he basically got the idea into my head that, it is possible. If you use the right language, you can reach people. And it was like, that was such a light bulb moment. And that's what caused us to go in gently, apart from the loose cannon, and write the speeches in a way and try to connect with them. And what was interesting is that's, I think, what helped them go viral as well.
Okay,
because you got to meet people where they're at.
Yes.
And then, like, come on this little journey with me.
Yes, and not go in with facts and figures, because they may be counsellors and doing their job or whatever, but they're people, we're people, and we get triggered in certain ways.
Well, we did both. We sort of gave that, I was a keen environmentalist, and then I discovered that solar panel and that lithium battery I've got in my office are really toxic and really bad. And then I gave them all the figures of, that's 3,000 gallons of water per minute, and it pollutes the water supply for 300 years.
Wow.
So they got both.
Go in.
Yeah, it's just awful. And then the child slave labour for the cobalt.
Yes.
So, yeah, they got the full gamut, but it made no difference. And that, for me, was
Really?
shocking.
Nothing.
No. I mean, I've been out the country for 10 years, digital nomading. I'd never had any interest in politics. And
Haven't seen TV for that.
no, I hadn't seen TV. And I'd just been in my own little bubble of, oh, isn't this a pretty place? And, all that kind of stuff. And I was quite shocked that you could go in, present information, because as you'll read in the book, it's always, oh, well, I'm glad I won't ever have to do that again, because, I've given them the information, job done now. And then it just, and they're still going to go ahead, and you think, hang on a minute, you're meant to be the Environment and Sustainability Panel. Wouldn't you want to be doing things that are good for the environment? And it's like, but the funding is telling them to do one thing. The officers are telling them to do it. Everybody's telling them to do it.
Yes.
The political parties. It's the way the system works. It is not set up for independent thought and independent thinking, because it doesn't attract them.
All of the institutes.
Everything.
Yeah, they've got it all sewn up. And that is coming from the brainwashing children are getting in the indoctrination camps at school. So that's why we need to be helping homeschoolers and giving children an opportunity.
Is that why you realise you've got to switch tack?
Yeah.
And go in through, well, what they're doing is taking kids from young.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But in their minds.
Also, after a while, after not that long, probably a year to 18 months in, I just thought, all we're doing each week, and lots of people, it's good that people are talking about it, it's getting it out into the consciousness of everyone, but we're all just reporting, we're all just pointing at the problem. Nobody's fixing the problem. And I found myself in that situation of thinking, I'm just pointing at it going, oh, look, a big pile of what's it over there? That's not good, that stinks. And it's like, well, I don't actually know how to fix it, so all I can do is point at it. And it's not till I wrote the book that it kind of, the ideas started to come. And although I must admit, in this print version, the last 3 pages that I've now added about the homeschooling, that's not in that. But anyway, 99% is in there. But the new print run will have it.
So it made you realise that they're not listening, they're not changing anything at all.
We can't reach them. And we tried really hard using the best methods. We didn't go in angry, we were calm. And we did get through to some.
I could
but
see
not the ones running
when
it.
I saw the talks that you did at the councils, the ones that I'd seen that you did, and I could see that they were reacting from what you were telling them. But then it's their job, isn't it? It's their position, the funding,
Yes.
and then they'll probably make decisions from that. Clearly.
Yeah.
So that made you turn around and take things another tack there.
Yeah, we
Brilliant.
can't. We're playing their game. So we've tried really hard to change the current system because none of us want to be counsellors. It's just not our thing. So we thought they're good people in Colchester because we do. I mean, there's a lot of very good, well-meaning people on that council compared to a lot of the other councils we've now seen because people are sending us videos. Our council actually is really very good. They're very well-meaning, but they're just doing the wrong things.
Yeah.
So we just thought, okay, we've got a good bunch of people. If we can give them the information, they won't make these bad decisions. But boy, I was wrong. You always knew.
Well, I think, like you said, the ones we've managed to convince are in the opposition.
Yeah.
So
They're in the minority.
Maybe that's a tack, another tack.
So we've tried that way. The system is like a container ship. It's moving and turning it, and we're in a rowing boat with a tow rope, paddling, trying to get them to go this way, and we can't change the course of it. So what we must do is reach the younger generation, and there must be a lot of parents that even if they're not wide awake to the overall bigger picture, want their kids out of school because they're sick of the woke stuff and the indoctrination, that they would love to, and they're not in a position to homeschool. So if we can get enough people and hubs, and what we want to do is connect landowners with people with skills that, I'd happily volunteer for an afternoon or a day every week and teach the children whatever they want to know that I do know about. And what I'm trying to do is get people with different skills, and that will make some test courses, like tester courses, online that people can access from anywhere, and then they can put that to their kid that they're homeschooling
about across the board things.
Yeah,
and
then whatever they're
what's
interested
happening.
in, like if it's blacksmithing, they can go find someone locally that'll do it. But we'll give them these taster courses with sort of herbalists and all the things that you never know exist when you're at school.
Yeah,
all those things, and get kids inspired, because that's what we want. And then bring people together with venues, skills, and the children, and then they can.
And is this happening, or this is
it's in its early stages. I don't know if you come across the Great Rising team, but they're helping get it going. They've approached Matt Letizia to be an ambassador for it, and he said yes in its early phases.
Team.
The Great Rising. Yeah, they've got a website, thegreatrising.org, I think it is.
Cool.
So there's a lot of good people that's involved in that. Actually, Catherine is one of them. Our friend Catherine Armitage. So, yes.
Lovely.
So yeah, there's lots of people involved. It's a very fluid group. People come and go, and it gets together. Its idea is to connect all the little groups, connect everyone together, so it's a proper movement rather than lots of little tiny groups. So
I used to be a homeschooler up to the age of the kids are up to 7, and there's each family chooses what they have and go for with the kids.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things like that, and you can pick and choose. There's so much to choose from. But it does depend on one parent working, one parent being with the kids. And
that's
they're
another
totally
idea
up for it.
that Rachel had that would solve that. If we can get somewhere with land and have like little huts where parents can come and work from there, so you could do your work at the location, because we'd be difficult to get responsibility sort of legally for all these children. If parents are there too on site, then we can be doing the teaching. And
because a lot of people have work from home
facilitate.
jobs, but instead of working from home, they could be out in the woods in a nice little hut that they can do their work in, and little
Lots of
all
people
meet
do
for
that,
lunch
yeah.
and food prep together and
Yeah.
stuff
It'd be
like
amazing.
that.
Do you know Hope Sussex?
Yes, I know of them.
They do something sounding like something like this.
Yes.
And as I said, in the homeschooling community before all the COVID thing, that there are groups around. So you're wanting to sort of bring all these different groups
Connect
together.
them, and also so that the parents know they exist.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So we're trying to get a database, or somebody else will have to do that. That's beyond my skill set. So
I was forced
starts
into
with an idea.
homeschooling because after a year, I think it was in the March 21, my daughter, who's on the autistic spectrum, was saying that she was still struggling. I said, but break times, go out. We're still indoors at break. Oh my gosh, really? okay, well, make sure you get up and walk around the desk. We're not allowed to do that. So I had a Zoom meeting with the teacher and the head of year and explained that I needed to be reassured that they're putting the children's well-being ahead of any government diktats that didn't make sense, that aren't going to be good for the children. And the response I got was the blank face. It's like, oh, well, we're going to just follow policy. My daughter was struggling with anxiety quite a lot, so at 12 or 13 she got pulled from school. Well, you know, it wasn't very easy as a parent not skilled in teaching. For someone with additional needs in terms of their learning style, it was very, very difficult. So anyway, we're all recovering.
Good. Come out the other end, but
But I
sometimes we're
didn't
forced
know
into
anything
things.
existed for homeschooling in the
Yeah.
younger years, and because there was trauma through
Yeah.
our homeschooling, there was a whole lot of not just being at home and learning stuff. She got a rather sharp lesson in the world's not how it seems to be, as I was processing a lot of the trauma. So unfortunately, she was exposed at a young age to some of the darker stuff you probably wouldn't want to expose children to until they develop properly. But
Things work out as they do, you know, and sometimes you're out of control of those things, isn't it? And life happens.
I
and,
realise now
you have
it
to
was
roll
the
with
right
it.
thing. We sort of come out of it, but
Yeah.
like everyone, it's been a traumatic few years.
But you
hasn't
could
it?
have done with some help if there'd been something set
Oh,
up that
God.
you could have come to.
Yeah.
I would have loved that because at 7, I didn't feel enough for my children to give them. I wasn't a teacher, and what I understood about homeschooling is that you choose what you want for your kids and provide it in the way that you can, whether you find teachers or groups or whatever, or investigate information or whatever it is. But at 7, I didn't feel I was enough for them. You know, and I knew they needed more.
Yeah.
So something like that would be fantastic. But I
It's the
knew that
social
was there.
interaction they get from school. That's why the kids manage for long. I mean, not the introverts, perhaps, but you know, for Rebecca, the big deal, even though there was some bullying at school, that was what was missing in her day. Is
Right.
a routine where she's in and there's people. You
Yeah.
know. But,
It's important, it's a critical factor, especially as kids, I think.
yeah.
So, so you're focusing on the children, and this concept is developing. So you're still going to councils and giving them information.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos out. We did an interview with Johnny and Matt from Gloucester. Right through COVID, he was serving notices, speaking to people at church and saying, you know, this is all wrong. And I think he's had quite a lot of success in his council because when he went and handed notices, I think there was 10 councillors or something that had
Resigned.
left,
They did, didn't they?
resigned.
I
There
was like, blimey, that something's.
effective, isn't it? You just got to know what the battleground's like and how to target it. But
There it is, and information, and most people don't have time for it, I don't think. I mean, I certainly didn't. I was dipping in and out and being outraged and going in and looking into stuff, but there's a certain point that you've got to live life and keep your sanity intact. And of course, we're all dealing with our families through all the COVID thing. And then, so yeah, I mean, it's marvellous what you've done, and you've just been at them, and you're still doing it. Do they see you coming? Oh, she's here! Here she is again.
Oh yeah.
it's quite a lot of fun because the security guards, you know, we're all sort of on good terms. And someone will say, "Oh, I like your boots. My daughter would love them. Where do you get those from?" So, like the council staff themselves, but yeah, certainly the council leaders and quite a few of the.
They all watch. Council watch.
I suspect they probably do.
So Council Watch is the website you have now?
No,
is it?
we never did a
Or
website. It's
videos?
only on YouTube.
It's called Council Watch on
Council
YouTube.
Watch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Colchester and
Countrywide.
countrywide because it started off at Colchester.
But people have set up council watches all over.
I know, you've started a viral thing. It's been fantastic. Because as I said in the beginning, like most people sort of live their lives, I think. I haven't got time to look into the
By
intricacy.
design.
By
Keep us
design.
busy.
Yeah.
Busy, earning the money,
Of course.
the slave system, isn't it?
Of course,
If we
yes.
had more time, then we would thrive, wouldn't we?
There
or
it
we'd
is.
go, hold on a minute.
Well, that's the big chunk there, isn't it? Remember the other day, my boy is 15 now, and he loves school. But before he went in, at I think it was 7 or 8 or something, he used to draw technical drawings all the time. I thought he was going to be
wonderful.
I thought he was going to be an architect. He's absolutely, you know, the information floods in. And it stopped overnight when he went to school.
Oh.
And the other day I said to him, why did you were doing all these drawings and technical things, we were
Yeah.
looking into it all. And at the same moment, we both said, I haven't got time. And I said, you haven't got time. And we said it at the same moment. I thought,
Oh,
There is the truth.
yeah.
They fill up your day. You haven't got time. He hasn't got time to do his sports and things, and time to look into these different things. You're
Well, that's
absolutely
why I
right, I
noticed
think.
at school, sort of from my school until like Generation Next, is the sports fields and the sports availability and all that other stuff that I suppose drew people in initially. All the crap's left in it.
It's all the whole system. So you're going from the underground, from the kids up then now.
Well, it's what they've done
focusing
to
on that.
us, so we just need to reverse it.
Okay.
But they are going to make it very difficult for people to homeschool, so we need to get in and help now.
Yes.
Worst case, we could do after school clubs if homeschooling becomes impossible, which I think they're going to try and aim for, after school clubs, so we can deprogram some of the stuff that's gone in and give them other interests.
Do you know Hafford Holmes? She's in the Education Otherwise. She's on these Facebook groups. Education Otherwise. It's a major homeschool group.
Oh, okay.
I can put you in contact. And
Yes,
that would be.
do.
She's on it like you are with the information. I don't know if she is a lawyer, but she sounds like a lawyer on the homeschool side.
Brilliant.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, because
And
this is a
that's what
new
you
idea
do.
for me. I don't even have children, but it's just like, this is what needs to be done. Let's go do it.
You two need to meet.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think it's wonderful what you've done, and absolutely loving seeing you saying it to the council. I mean, they are human. If they're doing their jobs, they must. I saw the reaction on their faces. They are hearing you.
Yes.
You know, and I bet they're saying it to the families or whatever, or taking it in. And sometimes I think it's about the seeds.
Yeah.
I mean, when it was in the middle of 2020, and I was, I thought I can't take I'm crashing. I can't take this. And I thought, how can I survive what we were all put under? And one of the things was go within, listen to your own guidance, what feels right. And the other thing is to share what your skills and connect knowledge and share what you've got, because we've all got stuff.
Yeah.
And connect with communities to link with like-minded. And that's what we're all doing now, isn't it? With people all over the place.
And
like
we wouldn't have had
yourselves.
that opportunity without that
I know.
tyrannical government, would we? So thank you.
Fantastic. So where do you go from here then? So this is a project you're going to put forward and you're developing or thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking after elderly parents at the moment, and I'm taking some time out because I burnt myself out with Council Watch. It was just a ridiculous amount of hours every week.
You were interviewed a lot, weren't you, as well?
Yeah, so I'm sort of giving me some me time. So this is a project for the children thing. I'm putting the ideas out there because people can set this up locally. They don't need me or Great Rising to do it. They can get going now, but just consider volunteering your time to help homeschoolers reach out. And
Fantastic.
a database would be great, but there's
I'd be on
Facebook
it.
groups. Yeah, there's Facebook groups. So just spread the idea. And if people want to pink pill their friends and relatives, the book is available as a free download if they want. It's on my website for pay what you want, free if you want.
Gosh.
So they can read through it. There's the audiobook version as well. That is paid for because that's very expensive to put that together production-wise. Or they've got the physical books. They can download the ebook, read through it, think, yes, I'll give that to so-and-so, and then order the physical book if they wish. So
amazing. That's fantastic.
So I'd just like to say,
Yes.
although the subject matter is rather heavy, the title kind of
there's
summarises.
a lot of comedy.
There's a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get carried along in the story and you can laugh out.
And the behind the
Lovely.
scenes of Council Watch was quite hilarious. So, and there's there's several bits of us coming to shine because quite a lot happened on the two previous occasions.
Yes.
We came to
Okay.
this very venue. So it's
Did you come to the first one? It was in 21, was it? Or something?
no,
No.
we've come the last. This is our third year.
Yeah, so we didn't come to the first one. I didn't know about it the first time either. But
No.
obviously still rather new and raw and stuff happening. But yeah, it's been lovely.
So wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story and
welcome.
hinting. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than we're just saying in this short interview. And people can buy the book to
Yes.
find out how to help themselves and understand
Absolutely.
how you
Website
managed
or-
it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What is
RachelMathews.uk, and that's Rachel spelt Rachel, and Mathews with just the one T, and that's .uk/accidental.
Perfect, thank you. And is that how they get in contact with you as well?
Yes.
You've got contact
Yeah,
there.
I'm doing a book tour with fellow council watcher, although she was never on camera. Author Sue Cook, she's a neurodevelopment specialist and homeopath, and all-round brilliant lady. So we're doing a book
Is she
tour.
the presenter, the newsreader? from
No,
before?
no,
A
no, different Sue Cook.
Mm.
And so people, there's a form that people can book us if they want us to come to an event and do a book signing and talk. We're available for that, so we can
Fantastic.
help
Okay.
spread the word.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. I've got people that organise these things, and my stand in the park where I am, Colchester, and we have different speakers come along. So that would be amazing. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah.
Have you been there already, the Colchester?
No.
So, okay.
No, we've literally only just started, so this is our first weekend.
Amazing. It'd be good to have you there and share the knowledge.
Yeah.
And so for those who are watching this video, could you? How would you like to leave them? What would you like to leave them with, a word or a point or a focus or a thought to think about or an action to take maybe, or what would you like to leave people with?
Well, other than that, I think we just need to be concentrating on creating the world we want to create, because it's so much, everyone's on the back foot trying to battle what is. I mean, spreading the word, waking people up. I think we all do that automatically, but just building our own future and not waiting for some saviour to come and save us. And I think far too many people are waiting for someone else to fix it. It isn't down to other people, it's down to us, and I think it's going to be a team effort.
Totally agree. Do you concur? Did you want to add to that?
That's my final thought too.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Brilliant. Okay. Sorry, can I just thanks.